Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Purav. Is it audible?
Loud and clear, Naresh. You are loud and clear. I can hear you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's start. Good to go, I think.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's great. One second, one second. My other audio settings are. Let's start. Good to go. Let me. So let's start. So
Sure.
hello, yeah, thank you so much. So hello and welcome to yet another episode of my dream career talk show, which is now Intensify Your Personality. Now, why this talk show, Intensify Your Personality? Because it's my mission to help 10 million college students and freshers to secure their first job by building their personality great. Here on this platform, I invite eminent personality, business leader, and from various domains who can share their challenges, problems, success, and many other things which can inspire the college students and freshers, bring clarity, and of course, take first steps for their career. I'm thrilled to invite our guest, Mr. Purav Bhatt, who is very special to me. When I met him, I'm really mesmerized by him because he not only gets presence but also adds a lot of value additions. Today, on the topic of Mission 10 million and also take charge of your career, we have a great personality who is Mr. Purav Bhatt. Mr. Purav Bhatt has a decade of experience at various leadership positions, such as he's currently heading the digitalization at Siemens, which is a German giant, a German MNC. Along with it, he's a best-selling author at Amazon's. He is also heading a various business development department in the Siemens. He studied in IIM and also a life member at Delhi Management Association. So let's welcome Mr. Purav Bhatt.
Thank you so much, Naresh. And I'm very happy to be here. The initiative that you are driving is really very, very necessary for our country. And I'm very happy that we share the same interests, because I have been driving Mission 10 million for last 2.5 years now. And it is on the same, I would say, same track as your mission to influence the journeys of 10 million students.
Thank
So
you so much.
good that we will add value to each other, and together we will make your mission as well as my mission successful. We need many more Nareshes to drive such missions.
Thank you so much. So before starting off, Mr. Purav, could you take us back a little bit how you get started? What were the challenges you came across and the journey? Like there's three stages: the initial, how you started, the mid journey, and how you reached there, the present situation. So could you elaborate on this? Because our viewers are very much excited, curious to know about how it's actually you got these positions. So please.
If I may ask, so you are asking me about my journey in the corporate? How did I reach?
Yeah, and also the initial position, what were the challenges you faced before starting? So before starting of how you started actually and you reached the current position.
Okay. So Naresh, if I actually understand, as a student, okay, the challenges and trust me, the challenges today are also the same. Lack of clarity, running after certificates, running after marks, and always waiting to get the one job that we want. And we always assume that that is the end of the academic journey. The end of the academic journey is to just take the first job. And that was the same case with me. And we all are running in the same direction.
Okay, so what were the...
Please, go ahead.
Please. So what were the, the initial background, your childhood, how it, went, how it spent? You had challenges, or you come from a very good family? Because our viewers is curious to know about this.
I come from a middle class family, and my father was an engineer, a civil engineer, and my mother was a teacher. and we were brought up like any other Indian middle class family is brought up. Education was always given the top priority, and planning for your future, and the other important thing was money. And how to increase your money, the only way was to save more money so that you can have more for your future or more for your retirement. So I would say, like any middle class family in India, where we are always living in a situation of insecurity and lack of opportunities. So that is how most of us have been brought up, and that is not a mistake of our parents or their parents. It is because they have also seen the same things, and they are feeding the same things in us. The problem is we do not try to change ourselves. We do not reprogram, and we carry the same thing in the school, in the college, as well as in the job. So as I said, in my academic journey, the only target was to get good marks and secure a job. The challenges which I faced were, we were always thinking there is a lack of opportunity. We have to compete, and we have to stay always ahead in the race. Lack of resources, lack of guidance was one of the biggest challenge. But the bigger challenge than this was, we realized this only when we have taken a couple of steps. Then only we realized, had there been good guidance, we would have done something different. With this mindset, when we jump into the corporate world, again, it is the same thing. We want more salary. The race of increments and promotions begin, and we keep competing because that is what we have been fed with. So we keep competing with our peers, we keep competing with our subordinates, we keep competing with our seniors. So it is the same mindset. And this is what most of the students today are carrying, this mindset. I continued with this mindset for almost 10 years in my journey, in my corporate journey. But then one day I realized that how long can I live in such an insecurity or with such an uncertainty about my next steps? And that was when I decided that I should do something which I love to do, and with which I can give back to the society, which will also give me more confidence because I am able to help others. I'm able to help who really need guidance. And that is when I started Mission 10 million.
So before
to
going
help
into
the students.
yes,
Yeah,
I would
go
like
ahead,
to
Naresh.
I would like to interrupt here. Sorry for that. So before going to Mission 10 million, definitely I would like to know more. You all want to know more, but I want to know that you, as you said, that the initial background, like your father's parents, they all gave you this the teaching that we have to run after the job, kind of a like a deduction comes out. So we have to get a good job, we have to get a good salary, we have to increase the all this, the living style and all these things. Was this kind of teaching given to you at that time?
It is not a teaching that is given, as I said. It is the way they have lived.
Okay.
It is the way they have been brought up.
Mm-hmm.
And they are just passing on the same messages to us.
Mm-hmm.
They want us to be safe. They want our life to be secured or better than their life.
Mm-hmm.
But in this process, what happens is we just take what they are giving to us and we forget looking at the bigger picture around what is happening around. And we continue this for a very long time, this programming. So as I will repeat, it is not their mistake. They are just telling us what they have gone through. But we take that as a truth.
Okay.
And that is the mistake that we make.
So in other sense, if we say that such kind of teaching is necessary for a student so that they become motivated, inspired for their career goals and all.
Such kind of teaching is, I would say, is necessary.
Okay.
It is definitely necessary because they teach us how to not take big risks, how to play safe. But at the same time, the students have to balance this. They have to also understand that whatever their previous generations have seen, the world, today the world is disrupting. So they have to balance what to take from the outer world and what to take from their previous generations. That is what they need to balance.
So one more thing, Mr. Purav, I want to know that you became an engineer, and at that time, like 2000, before 2000, I suppose. So how you got such motivation to be an engineer? Because your fathers were engineer. That is one point. That is one thing, definitely. The people, all the family members were educated. What's the next thing that helped you, that motivated you that I should be an engineer? Why not any other things?
Naresh, this is a very well put question. What else motivated me? Trust me, there was nothing what we call as motivation. It was only following the crowd. If you score good in the 10th standard, the only thing that you do is take up the science stream. And if you score good in the science, 12th science, the only option, or I would say, let's put two options. One is medical. So either you become a doctor or you become an engineer. So I would say there was no motivation.
There was a very long, this trend remained for a very long time. Even now also prevail in all the places almost, I suppose, that there is only two options parents used to see. One is a doctor and the other one is engineering. So they only say these two things. So if you're having a very good mark, you should go for the engineering or the medical, or otherwise you can go to the arts or commerce or something like it. Anyway, so that's a very good start. And what about this? Like you have done executive MBA from IIM, that's a very good inspiration. People many students may get this. That working around, working in an MNCs like a German giants, which is the Siemens. So, how you get into it? Your starting is also have been humble one. Like, could you tell us something about it? How you get started to such a German MNCs?
Yes, that was also a very nice story. As I said, when we get into graduation, when we get into the college, the only target is to get a job from the campus. Okay. So that was one of the targets. The other thing which happened with me was when I was completing my engineering, someone in the family said that I should go for masters. So, and at that point in time, as I said, we are all influenced, and that is what is happening with the students today also, highly influenced by what others are saying. So I went for masters. The day I entered into masters, again, the target was same, a job in the campus placements. And all the companies that were coming to campus were all banks or financial institutions. And fortunately or unfortunately, right, I had that feeling that because I am an engineer, I should get into an engineering company. That is something which always motivated me to stay with the core. The first job that I got was of a commercial profile from my post-graduation. But somehow I could reach an engineering giant and appear for an interview. Believe me, they took 1 year to recruit me. But because I was so passionate to get into a core field, I accepted that job. And I was like, because I was following up so curiously, persistence was something which helped me, a patience, a lot of patience. And this is also what I would tell all the students, Naresh. Yes. Be patient. Don't run after short-term goals. Be patient, be consistent, and have a strong determination.
It's a very good learning, for anybody, for all the viewers. And thank you so much for that one. So let's move on. So my next question is, could you tell us about this Mission 10 million and take charge of your career, about the theme topic, and upon which you are very much, working, thriving so hard, reaching out to millions of people. So could you tell us about that Mission 10 million and take charge of your career?
Yes, Naresh. Mission 10 million. So as I said, after 10 years of my corporate journey, I realized that I should do something which is of interest. Okay, not something where this is something in addition to my profession. And because I was helping many students as such by guiding them. Fortunately, I got a few calls from the colleges where I was already engaged with the students. They invited me to
Okay.
conduct a few lectures in various colleges. And because I was looking for something different, I proactively went to the colleges and I conducted sessions. At that point in time, Mission 10 million was not existing. But after the sessions, the questions that I received from the students, I realized they were the same questions which I was carrying in my mind as a student.
Mhm.
So the shock that I got is after 15 years of, I would say, my engineering, I completed engineering way back in 2003. And this was something which happened in 2015. So more than 10 years, the world has changed, but the thought process of the students has still not changed.
I meant the same.
They are same thought process they are having, which I had almost 10 years back. And it was that point I decided that I would go ahead and influence their journeys. I'll give back whatever I have learned, whatever mistakes I have made. I don't want them to commit the same mistakes. Their journey should be different. And that's where Mission 10 million came into existence. And the statement, the mission is to influence the campus to corporate journeys of 10 million students by making them better, faster, and more fulfilling. I don't want them to commit the same mistakes which I have committed and many people like me have committed in their journeys. I don't want to make their journeys free of challenge. That is not possible, but at least not the same challenges. They will have different challenges. And that's where I'm working with the students.
That's a great mission you have taken this. I'm really inspired for that. I'm also working on the same initiative, same kind of mission, which is Mission 10 million. It's not that it's not my topic actually, but I'm also working to impact the 10 million people to get their first job actually. So that and the process which I have taken is by building the personality, because personality is the one thing which they need to get into the corporate. Because freshers, the company is not expecting anything from the freshers, because the company know they don't cannot bring anything on the table. But what they can have is the good personality. So I have just taken this initiative that how I can impact their life, I can change their personality so that they are capable to get into the corporate. Now, once they get into it, they will be able to create their own path where they want to go in next 5 years, 3 years, or whatever time. So once they are able to get that the first foothold, that is I'm doing, and it will be in not only the tier one cities, but all this. I mean, almost all the tier one, tier two trips, because tier one is no problem because the companies are already situated there, so they have ample opportunities. But what is the problem is that in the tier two and the tier three cities, tier two and tier three cities, companies are not there. They have to move out to other cities and get the job, and this is the problem faced by millions of students actually. So that's where I'm working actually, to so that they are capable to find the job and they're able to live their life. So that's what actually I'm working, which is aligned to your mission also. So I'm very much grateful that you are here on this talk show actually. So we are working with the same mission actually. So let's move on to the next question. So, Mr. Purav, you are having so many hats. Even you are having your own personal life. You're working in Siemens, which is such a giant actually, giant organizations, and you're also heading your own organizations. You have been a CEO, founder, and you have been a best-selling author also. So now I want to know that how you are able to manage all this. I mean, how you are able to manage your work-life balance. Could you tell us? I mean, some kind of tips and secrets so that our viewers can get to know about it. Please.
Sure, Naresh. I mean, there are no secrets, okay? There are no secrets. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. The one thing which I asked myself was that people are successful. There are many successful people, okay?
Yes.
And they are having the same time as I have. Okay.
Yes.
Trust me, they are working more than all of us in the same 24 hours.
Very true.
But they also have a social life and a professional life. So if they can do it, why can't we? It is only about effectively using your time, planning your day effectively, and doing the most important things in the day. one best practice that I have adopted to become more, I would say, disciplined or become more effective is to read books. Books teach you a lot, and these are written by people who have been successful. Many books are of successful people, their biographies. So why don't we pull the good things from those books and start planning our days, our time? There is nothing like balancing the professional life and the social life. If you love what you do, the balance comes automatically. And I started doing what I love. Mission 10 million is my passion. That is what I'm doing. So if I love it, I will find time to do it in any ways. At the same time, not compromising on your family. So it's possible just with little planning.
And that's great. So could you give some few tips, like how you manage, I mean, your timing and all, because you are having your job life also, you're working in the organization. So how you manage this thing? I wanted specifically time management tips if you could.
Yes. So one of the good tip, okay, that is whenever I used to start my job in the morning every day, I used to make a list of things that I have to complete in that day. It always was a long list because some items were coming from the previous day, which were incomplete. As I said, when I started reading books, one of the books which I picked, and there was a secret. When you make a list of things that you have to complete, that is called a list of to-do items, the items you have to do. But from the long list of to-do items, if you observe in detail, you will see there are few items which are extremely important. So what students should do is pick those important items first and complete those items, because those items will take you closer to your goals. So don't focus on everything. If you focus on everything, you will invest your entire day. I would not say invest. You will waste your entire day in just completing the tasks. You are not a robot. You are not here to complete the task. You are here to add value to yourself and add value to others. So pick the most important task, forget the other tasks. Allocate a time that if I start my day at 8 a.m. in the morning, after all the other things that I do for my personal development, like exercise, meditation, my breakfast, everything. So if you start your day at 8 to 5 is your office time. 8 to 5 is what you focus on your office. Till 5, you should have completed all your important tasks. Other tasks, pass it on to the other day. And if you follow this exercise, trust me, whatever tasks are not done are those which will never add value to you or your life. So let's filter the important tasks, focus on the important tasks. Similarly, prepare a list of important tasks on the personal front, because everything doesn't add value. So remove the TV time, remove the screen time that you are wasting. Rather, put family time instead of the screen time. That is how you filter the useless tasks.
Very true, very true. That's a great advice for all our college friends and freshers. Yeah, I'm visible, right? Okay.
Yes.
So that's a great advice for our college friends and freshers, because they used to sometimes get like packed up, like they think that a lot of works are there, what to do, which one to do. And sometimes in just thinking, they become so inactive. I mean, they waste a lot of time in just thinking only. So this will help them to make a to-do list and pick the one which is very important, the priority one, and then they'll be able to do the work properly. So that's a great, really great advice actually. And we have been all following this way only. So it's for them to implement. Now, so the next question is, Mr. Purav, we would like to know about your book. So the book has been best-selling actually. So we all wanted to know about that. What's in it and what's for the students and for whom the book is actually. So please, if you could elaborate on these things, please.
The book is titled Campus to Corporate and Beyond. And the reason, one of the inspiration, what inspiration I got to start this book was with the Mission 10 million, I realized that I could not reach everyone where I want to go. And the book I am using to reach to more students. What is in the book is my life experiences and the experiences that I could capture from other people who were in the same journey. What mistakes I made, what mistakes they made, and what could be different for the other students, what they could implement. So the book consists of two major things. One is the mistakes that many of us are making, many of us made, many of us are making, and trust me, many will still make as they go forward. And the other part of the book is how not to make mistakes. What are the correct things to be done? That is the other part of the book. So it is a practical book, easy to implement techniques, and trust me, pick a copy and start implementing those because those are tried and tested. That is what I would say.
Okay, so that's great. So thank you so much for giving like a brief idea about the book, because book is already Amazon bestseller. Now the students who are watching, actually, they will also get some idea that why they should buy this book. So it is a kind of like a boon for them. They got to know about this book. Now they'll be able to take a decisions. So my next question would be like, Mr. Purav, I wanted to know that you have taken such a great initiative about this Mission 10 million impacting people, writing a book, which is a very noble work actually you are doing. Now, what gap did you find in our education system? Of course, there is a gap. Now, according to your lens, we would like to know that what gap did you find? What are the loopholes did you find that students are not able to, cope up? Or if I say that they're before debuting, I mean, what's the problem they're facing before debuting in the corporate world?
Yes. So, Naresh, again, it is not, I would not blame the education system for this. Okay. The education system there are some loopholes, but the major loopholes are in people. Okay. The major loophole is in the mindset. The major loophole is in what are we delivering to the students as professors, as teachers. What are we delivering to the students? The world has disrupted and is continuously disrupting. But the education system and the mindsets are not changing. As students, they blindly follow, as school students, they blindly follow the teachers. And by the time they are in the college, they are programmed to follow what they are being taught.
Yes, true.
So we stay limited to the theory. We stay limited to the only one target of getting a job and competition. Why are we teaching students to compete with others? Ask them to compete with themselves. And that is one of the biggest mistake that we all are making. Feeding competition. Telling them there is a scarcity of opportunity. If you will not run, you will lose. So I would say the education system is in its place. We have the power to change ourselves and hence change the students. Let's not bring the education system, or let's not completely blame the education system.
So, Mr. Pura, I wanted to know that you say that our teachers has been giving us only the theory part of the thing. We are not getting the practical. So, what you suggest actually that our teachers should be practically experienced. They must come from the practical field, and then they should come to teach, right? I mean, what do you say on this?
It is not required, Naresh, that the teacher should have some experience.
Practical experience?
No, that is also not required. The only thing is, we have to change our mindsets. We have to feed to the students, go out and see what is happening outside. It is not possible for the teachers to bring all the experience for the students. But there is something called freedom. That is something called a push. That should come from the teachers and not bind the students or not judge the students only based on their certificates or their marks. That is something which we should stop. And for all the people who are in their professional journey, would have realized how significant are the certificates and how significant are the marks.
Very true, very true. So one more thing I wanted to ask, because you have mentioned this one, that competition is something like it's not a good thing, you said. Now, could you elaborate on this thing? Like, if in place of, I mean, how do you replace this competition with, how do you replace this with what?
Why do we need competition? That is the first question which is coming to my mind. And if you have seen a well of death in circus, okay, and this is how I explain the students. In a well of death, there are bikers who are driving very fast so that they can stay on the walls of the well continuously. Okay, their only target is to drive fast, and so that they do not fall down. And if they drive fast and stay on the walls, they are winners. What happens with competition? In the four walls of the college, we are competing, and everybody wants to become the topper. How do we become the topper? The topper of the class is studying for 14 hours in a day. I will study for 15 hours. Correct. We copy them. The day we become the topper, the person who is not the topper starts copying us. Because he or she also wants to become a topper. And the race continues. We do not do anything different. We do the same things as others are doing. Because we are competing. Because we have been told that there are very less opportunities. You have to grab the opportunity or you will not get any. So competition has taught us only two things: copy others, and there is scarcity, which is not true. Both are not true. So nothing has to be replaced. Just forget competing. You are your best competitor and start taking calculated risks.
So, Mr. Purav, I wanted to know that hearing this, many parents would think that now if we don't motivate them with this competition, that they should be the topper, they should be this and that, they should become so and so. Now, how they should motivate the children, that why you should like do better, why you should improve progressively. So, I wanted to know that how they can motivate the children. The children should progress every day. So could you, give us few point on this?
I would request the parents do not motivate the children. Just do not feed competition. Do not feed their mind with competition. Okay. Tell them there are multiple opportunities. Okay. Feed something positive. Feed something, or at least do not feed the mistakes that you have made. Okay. So if you cannot motivate the kids, do not program them.
Very true, very true. So thank you so much. And one more thing with this related to this education system. So our government of India has launched a new education policy, that is national education policy, after such a long period of time, almost 30 years. So there have been a lot of things which has to be implemented, and people are giving a lot of good reviews and all that so and so. Now I would like to know your lens. How do you see this? What changes it is going to bring? How effective it will be? So if you could put some light on this, please.
I would not say anything about the system, because a system cannot bring change. People can bring change. If you wait for the system to bring change, trust me, you are all late. So don't depend on the system to change yourself. Start changing. You know the reality. And don't wait for others to just keep coming and tell you the reality. Don't run away from the reality.
So Purav, that's very true. Actually, you have talked. You have talked this that one cannot run away from the reality. Actually, but when one is inside the process, inside the system, and people has to follow the system. Actually, when they are in the process, they have to follow the process. Now, how they can you know how what changes they can do for themselves. Actually, I don't know if I put it in the right way. If you could understand.
No, I'm reading. And Naresh,
Yes.
why the mindset that we are now bringing is
Mm-hmm.
people have to follow the process. People have to follow the rules. Why are we bringing this? Because when I was in school, everybody used to tell me, सीधा सीधा स्कूल कर लो, अच्छे मार्क्स लाओ, ओके, एक बार नौकरी मिल जाती है, उसके बाद जो चाहे वो करना. I will translate it for the audience. Do not do any hanky panky in the school or the college. Finish your education, get good marks. Once you get your job, do whatever you want. This is like you tame a lion till it becomes an adult. You give him food. You keep the lion with you, and every day you feed him. And then once it becomes an adult, you put him in the jungle. Go and hunt. Will it hunt? It will not hunt. We don't have to tell the students to strictly follow the process. We have to tell them, stay within the system. Don't break the rules. Don't tell them follow the rules. Tell them don't break the rules. Do whatever you want and progress. So let's not blame the system. Let's not blame the process. That is also our mindset. Education system is bad. And that is why I am here today. I could have done better had the system had been better. No. What about you? That's it, Naresh.
Thank you so much for this one. You have given your views on this one. So let's move ahead. My next question is for the college students and freshers. Now, before entering into their corporate world, what are the skills they should focus on while in the college, and also for the freshers when they have completed their degrees and all, they've got their degrees. Now it's time to look for the better job, the good job actually. So what they have to focus on? What are the skills that you like to bring on? Under light, please.
I would say 3 skills. Okay, just focus on 3 skills. Yes. One is patience. Patience is a skill. You have to learn it. Okay, you have to have a lot of patience. Most of us make mistakes because we take very quick decisions because we want quick results. So the first thing is try to develop a lot of patience. The second thing is develop good communication skills. And when I say communication, not English. I am not talking about English. In whichever language you are comfortable in, please develop good communication skills and find for yourself what do we understand by communication. It is more of listening and less of speaking. It is more of understanding and less of arguing. It is more of absorbing than replying. Develop good communication skills. Have patience, have good communication skills. Start building your network. Start building a network of professionals that will help you throughout your career. No other skills. Other skills, the education system is giving you. The technical skills, you know what to do, when to do. But these 3 skills, nobody teaches.
Very true, very true. Thank you so much. These 3 things is like kind of a diamond. If they can achieve it, then they can shine in their life. So you have rightly said this. It is very important for everybody. Now the next question, moving on to the next question is could you tell us, I've also mentioned before that this term personality. Now, from your point of view, how do you see this personality and how it is related to the career? Now, what kind of relation is there between these two, career and personality? If you get an elaborate discussion on this, please.
Yes. When we say personality, okay, everybody has their own definition of what is personality. The most common definition is when someone looks at you, when someone sees you, what they interpret. Okay. And it depends on how you present yourself. And it is very important how you present yourself. Not only in physical, but also virtually. With your stories, with your messages, how you increase your visibility. In what way builds your personality. And your personality is not how you define it. Personality is how others define it for you. And why is it important? Because half of your image or more than half is built because of your personality. The way the person start talking to you will depend on how he or she perceives you. And half of the battle is won if this perception is positive. So when you appear for an interview, okay, if you have already established your personality in the mind of the interviewer, trust me, half of the interview is done. That is the significance of personality.
Very good. Now, one more thing actually related to this only. Now, how do you this like? What's the relation with this personality and career? Now, is it something like what I say that having a good career is required that we need to have a very good personality? When we are having a very good personality, then we are having a very good career, because career is a very long-term journey, a very long-term path actually. So now, what do you say on this, or how do you comment on this?
Naresh, I would say it depends on person to person. Okay. How, if you look at the successful people, okay, and trust me, we would not, when the word is personality, I would not take names, but if you see a few big successful people from the software industry, from the IT industry, if you detach their success and just look at the person, you will not get inspired. You get inspired because now you attach them with their success. So at times, personality and career are not related. But one thing is for sure, if you have a good personality, it will help you grow faster in your journey. It is a necessary thing, but it is not the only thing. Having a good personality, you will accelerate your career. That is my take on this. As I said, it is different from people to people.
Yeah, very true, very true. But having a personality accelerates the career very faster, and that is what actually most of the people actually look for. Now, moving on to the next question, Purav, I would like to know about, there are certain category, not category, I would say certain group of peoples. We have, that we are already the three streams, the arts, commerce, and the science. Science, they think they have themselves as a privileged one. Commerce, okay, similar. But the arts one, they find somewhere lost, because the opportunities are very less in comparison to the other two actually. Now, what advice do you give to this art stream actually? Please, over to you.
I would not give any advice. I would just ask them to look at the people who are successful, because they are all college dropouts. All the successful people in the world, most of them are college dropouts. Okay. So don't worry about your current situation or your current phase in your education. Worry about your mindset. Okay, what matters at the end of the day is the mindset.
Okay.
Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and many other such people are college dropouts. Okay, their employees are people from the IIM, people from the Oxford, people from the Harvard are their employees. They are working under them or with them. So you take your own decision whether you want to kill yourself by continuously thinking, I am in arts. I had to take arts because I did not score well. And now there are no opportunities. Then you are right. I will just quote a very famous saying from Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right.
Very true, very true. So,
Correct?
yeah.
Yeah,
One more thing
Naresh.
I wanted to add actually. So, what are the technical skills they can focus on so that they can kickstart their career somewhere at least? So, if you can mention few of the skills, like technical skills, I'm talking, not the interpersonal skills. So, if you could mention that they can also go ahead and they can build their career, they can start at least their career. So, please.
Naresh, I differ. I differ in this. In this, I would say, look outside. Look outside in the world. What is
Mhm,
happening? Okay,
mhm, mhm,
your skills, your interest, you should develop based on what you want to achieve. If you really ask me about the skills, see what happens is when we say what technical skills you should have,
mhm,
this answer comes only because what is going on today in the world,
mhm,
what is at present, what is booming, then it is digitalization. What is booming? Artificial intelligence. What is booming? Machine learning. What is booming is the IoT, Internet of Things.
mhm,
I would not say this is what you need.
mhm,
At this
very-
time, having these skills would be better.
mhm,
After 2 years, I don't know. So evaluate for yourself
very
rather
true.
than running after skills. Rather than running after skills, develop a
Mhm.
network of people who have those skills.
Very true, very true.
Don't learn the skills yourself. By the time you learn the skills, those might become obsolete. By the time you become an expert in
Mhm.
data science would have been gone.
Very true. Very true. That's a great advice actually for them. So they can at least find some directions that what they should do since they come from the arts background, which is having very less opportunity because they are already into a theoretical subject. Everything is theory, geography, history, and all these things. And if they're having some important like economics and all, this can really help them. But it depends what subject they have chosen. Anyway, so at least they got some direction that what they should do in their life. Now, moving on to the next question, Pura, we have there is another certain group of people actually. Now they come from the backward, like they are financially poor or having a lot of challenges and all, or not having proper guidance, as you mentioned that you also did not have a proper guidance who can guide us and such kind of things. So this category of people, now, what advice would you like to give them so that they can also have their good career actually? Because everybody has a right to have a good career. Now, what advice do you give to them, this category of people?
I just tell them, don't carry this luggage of being backward or being financially poor or just having no guidance for a very long time. Leave this baggage.
Okay.
Okay? Leave this baggage first because this baggage is blocking a lot of opportunities for you. You are not able to visualize the opportunities in front of you because something is blocking it. Okay? Don't keep complaining that I am from a backward class or I am coming from somewhere where there are no resources. Okay? With complaints, with excuses, you are killing your career. Stop complaining. Start looking at the bigger world. There is no limit of resources. You just need internet. If you have internet, you have all the resources.
Very true. Yeah, so Pura, we have given a very great advice for them also because they may think that I don't have a job, I don't have family support, that I don't have financial resources and all these things. Now they got the answer. What you need to do, look for your own resources nearby. You yourself are a resource, and you should be a resourceful full person actually. Now this is the next question, which is after that we will have a rapid fire question, which is total 18 numbers, and that is very short answers, short questions. Now, this second last question, which is like, what advice would you give to these freshers now who is looking for immediate job and also who has already started their career? Now, the starter who have already started their career. So for starter, how they can upgrade their career from one stage to the other, one level to the other level. And for the starter, not starter, sorry, the freshers, how they can get immediate job, because their mindset is like, I want a job. Now how they can get it now, for them and for this, if you could give some advice for them also, so they can also it would be helpful for them, please.
Okay. For most of the people, for most of the people in the world, we are going through tough times.
Yes.
For most of the people, okay, what they think is we are going through tough times, the pandemic. And this is something which is killing our career. Not only freshers, but also people who are very senior already in their professional job. Okay. Once things become normal, I will start working hard. This is what everybody is thinking.
Their mindset. Yes.
Mindset. The first thing I would say is this is a time of opportunities. Don't stop taking actions. People who are already in the job, 1 or 2 years of experience, keep doing what you are doing, because you have to perform where you are today. Find some time for yourself and start developing new skills, which will help you in the short term. If you just want to take the next step in your career, you have to have a short term vision. Okay, to take the next step. But if you want to look for next 5 years, then utilize or develop some skills which might not give you immediate results, but will help you in the long run. So you should have two approaches. One is for your short term, develop karo, step low. But don't forget the long term approach also. For the people who are trying to find a job.
Yes, please. Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes, it's audible.
Okay. For people who are trying to find a job,
yes,
don't think that because of this pandemic, if they are not getting a job, their career will be destroyed. Okay. 1 year or 2 years cannot decide your 30 years of life.
Very true, very true.
So have some patience. Keep looking for jobs. Don't get anxious. Don't get impatient and take wrong decisions. If you are sitting at home, please utilize this time to develop your soft skills and start networking.
So you have already given this advice before also, and the advice is more or less similar to everybody actually. So thank you for this. Now everybody, all the category of people, they have got the advice what they should do in their life to have a better career, a better future. Now moving on to the next, that is the rapid fire round, which is the answer would be like short and crisp, and I would expect a minimum time if you could take, because we are already we have completed almost 1 hour. So thank you for this actually, for giving this time. And now let's start the rapid fire now. First question is what would your favorite pastime and the pastime, like your hobby and what you do in the free times?
I read books. That is my hobby. And my free time I spend with my family.
Okay. Now your favorite books and what book do you recommend to others?
The first book which I would recommend is Who Moved My Cheese, to all the students. And if you are done with this book, the second book that I would recommend is Attitude is Everything by Jeff Keller.
That's a great book actually. Now you're night owl or just curious to night owl or early bird? I mean you wake up early or in the...
I wake up early. I wake up early.
So what motivates you to wake up early?
I sleep early.
Okay. Okay. So one of the biggest challenge you have ever faced in your life?
Lack of clarity and the insecurity have always been my biggest challenges.
So what is that one thing that you have learned over a decade of experience?
Ask yourself one question before you take any action. what worst can happen. What worst can happen. And then start taking all the possible risks which others are not taking.
So what is your ideal person? I mean, role model?
I want to become myself my role model, and I'm working on that.
Okay, that's great. So what is the best advice you have ever got in your life? The best advice?
The best advice is take charge of your career, take charge of your journey. Don't let others drive your journey.
Wow, that's a really great advice actually. Now the last question, which is, you can have a dinner party with only 4 people. Now, only 4 people. Now, who would be on the invite list?
My wife and my sons and me.
Okay.
That is the best dinner party I would have.
That's a great, actually, at least only our family members. That's a great. So we have completed this almost a series of questions which were ranging from various categories, group of people, starting from the college students, the freshers, and also the early career profession that started actually, and even the art stream or the backward challenge people or whoever, everybody have got some kind of like, for them, everybody, for them there was something, they got the advice. Now we have talked on many things, even the mission 10 millions, lot of things. I wish you success for your this like mission 10 millions, and hope you are able to impact millions of people, not only 10 billion people, so that the country can have a better leader in the future, and we and the viewers, I have got inspired with your missions and visions, and I hope that our viewers is also inspired by your visions. I am really like mesmerized with this session, interacting with you for such a long hour, 1 hour, almost more than 1 hour we have spent together. So I'm really thankful for this. So viewers, this was all about today's views. So do you like to say anything, I mean, Mr. Purav, because that was...
Naresh, just thank you for giving me this platform, and all the best to you for your mission. And let's grow together. If you want any support, I'm always there. And
Sure.
remember, if I need any support, I'll come to you.
Sure. Thank you so much for this one. So we can always collaborate and then work together and grow faster actually. So we were for you also, you can, it's a kind of a recipe for your success. If you really want to grow faster and faster in your life, collaborate with people, grow together. Alone, you can go far, but not very far actually. So there will always be a hurdle for you. So that's all for today. See you in another episode with some another great personality and eminent personality or business leader from various companies. So that's all for today. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Naresh. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.